You're listening to Alex Manners on the Solihull Radio Children's Show. Good morning, boys and girls. I'm Alex Manners, and welcome to my live Solihull Radio Children's Show on this wonderful, wonderful Sunday morning. Well, I've got lots and lots of wonderful, wonderful things coming up for you, including a host of songs to get you moving and grooving for the rest of your weekend. I've got some excerpts from some old children's shows. I've got some stories to read for you, some jokes, some facts, and lots more wonderful, wonderful things like that, including another adventure of Rainbow Man, where you can join him on another fantastic adventure to one of our local attractions within our area and the West Midlands. So if that all sounds really, really interesting, then stay tuned with me for my live Solihull Radio Children's Show this Sunday, where I will be with you right up until 10 a.m. this morning. Today is the last day of World Autism Awareness Week, and World Autism Awareness Week has been going on all last week, and over the country there have been many, many wonderful, wonderful events. So today I thought I would do a very, very special Autism Awareness Show for you with lots of wonderful, wonderful things, including two excerpts from two shows that I used to watch when I was younger, because, boys and girls, if you don't know, I have something called Asperger's, which is a form of autism. And these two shows that I'm going to be playing excerpts from for you today really, really used to help me with my autism. And when I used to get stressed, I used to put these shows on, and they used to really, really calm me down and make me happy again. And the two shows of excerpts that I'm going to be playing for you a little bit later on in my show are excerpts from Noddy's Toyland Adventures and Thomas the Tank Engine. So here are the two theme songs for Noddy's Toyland Adventures and Thomas the Tank Engine.
Noddy, the little man with the red and yellow car. Noddy, his tinkling bell means he's the happiest little fellow in all Toyland. There's Biggies and Tubby and Mr. Plod and all his special friends. It's sixpence an adventure, then he'll take you home again. Noddy, Noddy, Noddy.
Did you enjoy those? Well, shall we play them again? Well, here we go.
Noddy, the little man with the red and yellow car. Noddy, his tinkling bell means he's the happiest little fellow in all Toyland. There's Biggies and Tubby and Mr. Plod and all his special friends. It's sixpence an adventure, then he'll take you home again. Noddy, Noddy, Noddy.
Yes, those were the two excerpts of shows I'm going to be playing for you a little later on in my show, and they were Noddy's Toyland Adventures and Thomas the Tank Engine. And don't forget, if you have any birthday messages that you would like to send in to me today to read out on my show, then you can text those in to studio to 82228. That's studio to 82228. The cost is one text plus a standard network rate. Or you can email those birthday messages to studio@solihullradio.com. That's studio@solihullradio.com. And to get my show started today, the first song I'm going to play for you is a special Sesame Street autism song called The Amazing Song. So I thought I'd start and end with the amazing song on my show today, and I hope you all really, really enjoy it, and it gets you really, really ready for the rest of my show today. So here we go with Sesame Street's The Amazing Song.
Sesame Street and Autism, The Amazing Song.
Every kid is an original, we're all one of a kind. There's no one else quite like us that you're ever gonna find. And that's what makes us wonderful, we're different as can be.
But in some real important ways,
We're still the same, you see. We all can feel happy,
we all can feel mad.
we all can feel good, we all can feel bad. We all want to laugh and we all want to play. We all are amazing, each in our own way. We all are amazing, every kid is amazing. We all are amazing, each in our own way. For some of us, it's harder to reach out as others do.
But when you just look closer, you'll see amazingness show through.
We each have our own ways to see the world and show we care. But we know we can be friends,
Cause there's so much that we share.
we all are still growing. We all need a hand.
We all need a friend who can understand.
We all are important and we all are okay. We all are amazing, each in our own way. At times we may have
Our own ways to play. And that's okay. Cause in the end, we're all so much the same. In some big ways, we all can be silly. We all can be sad. We all can feel lonely. We all can feel glad. We all are just kids and we all want to play. We all are amazing, each in our own way. We all are
amazing,
each in our own way.
every kid is amazing, each in their own way.
That was Sesame Street's The Amazing Song, and later on in my show, you are going to meet a Sesame Street character called Julia, and Julia has autism, so you'll get to meet all about Julia and learn more about autism later on in my show. But now, I'm going to play you the first excerpt of one of those old children's shows, and the show I'm going to play for you is called Thomas the Tank Engine, and the excerpt is called Gordon and the Famous Visitor. So here we go with Thomas the Tank Engine and Gordon and the Famous Visitor. I hope you all really enjoy it.
It was an important day in the yard. Everyone was busy and excited, making notes and taking photographs. A special visitor had arrived and was now the centre of attention. "Who's that?" whispered Thomas to Duck. "That," said Duck proudly, "is a celebrity." "Oh, what?" asked Percy. "A celebrity is a very famous engine," replied Duck. "Driver says we can talk to him soon." "Oh," said Thomas, "he's probably too famous to even notice us." Just then, Gordon arrived. "Pah," said Gordon. "Who cares? A lot of fuss about nothing, if you ask me." And he steamed away. Later that night, the engines found that the visitor wasn't conceited at all. He enjoyed talking to the other engines till long after the stars came out. He left early next morning. "Good riddance," Gordon grumbled, chattering all night. "Who is he, anyway?" "Doc told you," said Thomas. "He's famous." As famous as me, huffed Gordon. Nonsense. He's famouser than you, replied Thomas. He went 100 miles an hour before you were thought of. So he says, snorted Gordon. But I didn't like his looks. He's got no dome. Never trust domeless engines. They're not respectable. I never boast, but I'd say that 100 miles an hour would be easy for me. Duck took some trucks to Edward's station. Hello, called Edward. That famous engine came through this morning. He whistled to me. Wasn't he kind? He's the finest engine in the world, replied Duck. Then he told Edward what Gordon had said. Take no notice, soothed Edward. He's just jealous. Look, he's coming now. Gordon's wheels pounded the rails. He did it, I'll do it. He did it, I'll do it. Gordon's train rocketed past and was gone. He'll knock himself to bits, chuckled Duck. Steady, Gordon, called his driver. We aren't running a race. We are, then, said Gordon, but he said it to himself. Suddenly, Gordon began to feel a little strange. The top of my boiler seems funny, he thought. It feels as if something is loose. I'd better go slower. But it was too late. On the viaduct, they met the wind. It was a teasing wind which blew suddenly in hard puffs. Gordon thought it wanted to push him off the bridge. No, you don't, he said firmly. But the wind had other ideas. It curled around his boiler, crept under his loose dome, and lifted it off and away into the valley below. Gordon was most uncomfortable. The cold wind was whistling through the hole where his dome should be, and he felt silly without it. At the big station, the trucks laughed at him. Gordon tried to whoosh them away, but they crowded round no matter what he did. On the way back to the shed, Gordon wanted his driver to stop and fetch his dome. We'll never find it now, said the driver. You'll have to go to the works for a new one. Gordon was very cross. I hope the shed is empty tonight, he huffed to himself. But all the engines were there waiting. Never trust domeless engines, said a voice from somewhere behind him. They aren't respectable.
You're listening to Alex Manners on the Solihull Radio Children's Show. What did one plate say to the other plate? Dinner is on me.
You think I'm an ignorant savage, and you've been so many places, I guess it must be so. But still I cannot see if the savage one is me. How can there be so much that you don't know? You don't know. You think you own whatever land you land on. The earth is just a dead thing you can claim. But I know every rock and tree and creature has a life, has a spirit, has a name. You think the only people are the people who look and think like you. But if you walk the footsteps of a stranger, you'll learn things you never knew, you never knew. Have you ever heard the wolf cry to the blue corn moon, or ask the grinning bobcat why he grinned? Can you sing with all the voices of the mountain? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Come run the hidden pine trails of the forest. Come taste the sun-sweet berries of the earth. Come roll in all the riches all around you, and for once never wonder what they're worth. The rainstorm and the river are my brothers. The heron and the otter are my friends, and we are all connected to each other in a circle, in a hoop that never ends. How high does the sycamore grow? If you cut it down, then you'll never know. And you'll never hear the wolf cry to the blue corn moon, or whether we are white or copper skinned. We need to sing with all the voices of the mountain, need to paint with all the colors of the wind. You can own the earth, and still all you'll own is earth, until you can paint with all the colors of the wind.
Are you all ready for a story, boys and girls? Well, if you're all sitting comfortably, then I shall begin with this story from Noddy's Toyland Adventures, and it's called Noddy Meets Some Silly Hens, and it's been written by Enid Blyton. So here we go with Noddy Meets Some Silly Hens. It was an important day in Toyland. Mr. Straw's horse had hurt its leg, so Noddy was going to take the farmer's hens to market in his car. "Hello, Mr. Straw's horse," cried Noddy as he drove up. "I'm sorry that you've hurt your leg, but don't worry, I'll make sure the hens get safely to market." "Nay," said the horse crossly. "Yes, it is a shame that you'll miss the sugar cubes Dinah Doll gives you, but too much sugar isn't good for your teeth. Goodbye." "Humph," snorted the horse. He wasn't at all happy. As Noddy drove into the farmyard, all Mr. Straw's hens were scratching round for corn. "Cluck, cluck," squawked the cockerel in alarm. "Stop flapping about, you silly hens," said Noddy. The hens were being very silly indeed, and one of them flew up onto Noddy's car's bonnet. "I can't see where I'm going," cried Noddy. "Get off!" The little car swerved as Noddy struggled to see, and drove right into the duck pond. "Good morning, Noddy," cried Mr. and Mrs. Straw from over the fence. "It's very kind of you to come and help with our hens," said Mrs. Straw. "But I don't think it was a good idea to park in the pond." "I didn't mean to," said Noddy. "Your hens got in the way." Mrs. Straw. "I shall have to reverse my car out before its wheels get too wet and it catches a cold." Noddy tried to reverse his little car out of the duck pond, but its wheels were stuck in the mud and it wouldn't budge. "It won't move at all," he cried unhappily. "We'll have to pull it free, or I shan't be able to take your hens to market. Can your horse help?" Mr. Straw shook his head. "Not with his sore leg, Noddy." "Humph," snorted Mr. Straw's horse. He wasn't going to help. Just then they heard the jingling sound of a very loud bell. They all turned round and saw Mr. Sparks driving down the lane in his new fire engine. "Perhaps Mr. Sparks could help," suggested Mr. and Mrs. Straw. Noddy ran off to ask him. "Mr. Sparks," cried Noddy, "can you help us? My poor car is stuck in the pond, and we can't think how to get it out." "That's no problem, Noddy," replied Mr. Sparks. "I've got a towing rope. The fire engine will pull it free in no time." "Thank you," said Noddy happily. Mr. Sparks and Noddy carefully attached the tow rope to Noddy's little car, and got ready to pull it out. 1, 2, 3, heave! They cried. The fire engine pulled very hard, and little by little Noddy's car came out of the duck pond. "Thank you so much for pulling my car out of the mud, Mr. Sparks," said Noddy. "That's quite all right, Noddy," said Mr. Sparks. "I enjoyed it." "Well done, everybody," said Mr. Straw. "Now it's time to round up the hens." The hens were peacefully pecking around, looking for corn. Noddy crept up on them stealthily, hoping to round them all up at once. Suddenly he dived for the nearest hen, but it was too quick for him. Poor Noddy fell flat on his face. At last, Noddy had all the hens safely in his car. "Now, hens, just sit there," said Noddy sternly, "and don't cluck too much, or you'll put me off my driving." Cluck, cluck, went the hens. "Now, Noddy, off you go," said Mr. Straw. "Just leave the hens with my brother at the market." "I do hope they'll behave," said Noddy. "Well, here's 6pence for their fare," said the farmer. "If they lay any eggs on the way, you can have them." "Thank you, Mr. Straw," said Noddy, and he set off. On the way to the market, Noddy drove past the fire engine again. Lots of the toys were gathered round admiring it. "Look at that shiny new bell," said Clockwork Mouse. Noddy stopped to look at it again. "Isn't it a wonderful fire engine?" he said. "Mr. Sparks rescued my car from the pond this morning." "You are lucky," sighed Clockwork Mouse. "I'd love to see it in action." "I must deliver Mr. Straw's hens now," said Noddy, and he turned back to his car. "Oh no," he cried. "Where are they? Where have they gone?" There wasn't a single hen left in the car. "There they go," said Mr. Wobbly Man, pointing down the street. "What silly hens they are," said Mr. Jumbo, the toy elephant. "Come back, hens," cried Noddy, but the hens just clucked and disappeared up an alley. Noddy looked everywhere for the hens. "Where are you?" he cried. As he came to the police station, he stopped his car and shouted again, "Hens, where are you hiding?" "Cluck, cluck," he heard. "Cluck, cluck." Noddy looked around baffled. He couldn't see them anywhere until he looked up to the roof. There they were, sitting on the roof of the police station. "You silly hens," cried Noddy. "Why have you flapped up there? I'll never get you to market now. Come down." Meanwhile, the toys were still admiring the fire engine. Mr. Sparks had come back and was showing them what all the different equipment was for. Just then they heard a clucking noise in the distance. "What's that noise?" asked Mr. Sparks. "It's coming from my police station," said Mr. Plod. "Someone may be in trouble." "Just as I was hoping," cried Mr. Sparks. "Time for a rescue." Mr. Plod nodded happily. "You may need some help," he said, as he jumped on, and they drove off to the police station. Eventually, Mr. Sparks brought the last hen down from the roof. "Thank you, Mr. Sparks," said Mr. Plod. "Come along, you silly creatures," he said, as he passed the hens to Noddy. "Thank you so much for rescuing the hens, Mr. Sparks," said Noddy. "Not at all," said Mr. Sparks. "It was an excellent chance to try out this ladder." "I suggest you take all these silly hens straight to Mr. Straw's brother," said Mr. Plod, "before they cause any more trouble." "I will," said Noddy. All the toys cheered as Mr. Sparks parked the fire engine in front of his garage once again. "What a fine rescue, Mr. Sparks," said Jumbo. "Thank you," replied Mr. Sparks modestly. "I enjoyed myself." Noddy drew up in his little car, having safely delivered all the hens to Mr. Straw's brother. "I'm sorry to have been such a nuisance today, Mr. Sparks," said Noddy. "It wasn't your fault," said Mr. Sparks kindly. "It was those silly hens." Just then, Mr. Jumbo noticed something very strange. "I say, Noddy," he said, "did you know you had 11 eggs in the back of your car?" "11 eggs!" cried Noddy. "Those hens must have laid them on the way from the farm. 11 eggs for tea! You must have one of them, Mr. Sparks, for rescuing my car from the pond." "That's very kind," said Mr. Sparks. "What a marvellous day!" "And here's another one for rescuing the hens from the roof of the police station," said Noddy. Noddy counted the eggs in his car. "That leaves 9 eggs for me." "Don't eat them all at once, Noddy," said Clockwork Mouse, "or you'll start clucking." "Will I?" said Noddy in surprise. "I should hate to turn into a silly hen." "You must all have an egg each, then, and help me to eat them." "Thank you, Noddy," cried the toys. "We all love eggs." "Well, perhaps it was worth taking those silly hens to market after all," laughed Noddy happily. And that story was Noddy Meets Some Silly Hens, written by Enid Blyton. You're listening to Alex Manners on the Solihull Radio Children's Show. And here's another wonderful song for you, and it's Justin Fletcher's Hands Up. So, boys and girls, if you're ready, jump up on your feet and get jumping and jiving to Justin Fletcher and Hands Up.
Hands up, you can hold your hands up high.
Hey, how you doing? There's a party starting here. Won't you come and join the ride? 'Cause we wanna get together. Hey, everybody, you'll be part of the gang. Gonna dance like crazy. So let's dance. Keep working, let us see those moves. Clap your hands. Stamp your feet. Come on! Hands up, you can hold your hands up. Gotta put your hands up. Come on, hold your hands up high. Hands up, you can hold your hands up. Gotta put your hands up. See if you can reach for the sky. Hey, how you doing? Move your body over here. Gonna shake, shake, wiggle, wiggle, all together. Hey, everybody, now's the time to have some fun. Who can shout the loudest? So let's dance. Keep working, let us see those moves. Clap your hands. Stamp your feet. 'Cause we're here to have a party. Hands up, you can hold your hands up. Gotta put your hands up. Come on, hold your hands up high. Hands up, you can hold your hands up. Gotta put your hands up. See if you can reach for the sky. Hands up, you can hold your hands up. Gotta put your hands up. Come on, hold your hands up high. Hands up, you can hold your hands up. Gotta put your hands up. See if you can reach for the sky. You gotta see if you gotta reach for the sky. You gotta see if you gotta reach for the sky. So let's dance. Keep working, let us see those moves. Clap your hands. Stamp your feet. Come on! Hands up, you can hold your hands up. Gotta put your hands up. Come on, hold your hands up high. Hands up, you can hold your hands up. Gotta put your hands up. See if you can reach for the sky. Hands up, you can hold your hands up. Gotta put your hands up. Come on, hold your hands up high. Hands up, you can hold your hands up. Gotta put your hands up. See if you can reach for the sky. Hands up.
That was Justin Fletcher with Hands Up. And if you're ready, then you can now go on an adventure with Rainbow Man, where he is visiting the Birmingham Wildlife Park with his friends Giddy Gordon, Grumpy Doug, and Awesome Alex. And if you didn't know, Awesome Alex also has Asperger's and autism. And Asperger's is a form of autism on something that's called the autism spectrum. And Asperger's, which is also something that I have, affects how we think, feel, and view the world. And sometimes certain noises or the feel of certain objects can become a little bit difficult for us. So, for me, the ticking of my radiator in my bedroom can be really, really annoying. And I also have to cut the labels out of my shirts. But Asperger's also has many, many positive elements of it as well. And one of the positive things for me is that I can stand up and speak in front of really, really large audiences without getting worried or nervous. Well, if you'd like to know more about autism and Asperger's, then you can join Rainbow Man, where he is visiting the Birmingham Wildlife Park today with his friends Giddy Gordon, Grumpy Doug, and Awesome Alex. So here we go with Rainbow Man at the Birmingham Wildlife Park, and I hope you enjoy going on this adventure with Rainbow Man and his friends. He is here, he is there, Rainbow Man is everywhere. Seek him here, seek him there, see him in his rainbow chair. Hello, Rainbow Man. How are you today? Rainbow Man is feeling quite happy and excited today. I know it's a bit of a weird question, but have you ever seen a red panda or a wallaby? Rainbow Man shakes his head. Well, you may see those animals today on our adventure. Rainbow Man wonders where we are going today. Well, today we will be seeing lots of animals at the Birmingham Wildlife Conservation Park, also known as the Nature Centre. Rainbow Man remembers that the Nature Centre is next to Cannon Hill Park. That's right, Rainbow Man. I told you we could visit the Nature Centre on one of our adventures. Rainbow Man gets ready for his adventure and thinks about all of the animals that he may get to see today. Right, time for an adventure. Off we go. Rainbow Man zooms up in his chair and starts swirling around with lots of colourful swirls. Swirling here, swirling there. Rainbow Man goes everywhere. Rainbow Man appears outside the Nature Centre. He can see a small building with a big sign above it that reads, Birmingham Wildlife Conservation Park. We may get to see some of those animals that are on that sign today. Rainbow Man sees some people walking inside and follows them into the shop. In the shop, Rainbow Man spots Giddy Gordon and Awesome Alex. Hello, Giddy Gordon, and hello, Awesome Alex. Rainbow Man waves to Giddy Gordon and Awesome Alex, and they both wave back. Let's go and visit the animals together. That way, if some of the animals are hiding, we will have more chance of spotting them. The first animals that they see are Cameroon sheep, pygmy goats, and capybara. The capybara look like giant guinea pigs. In fact, it says here that they are the largest living rodents in the world. Awesome Alex asks what a rodent is. A rodent is a type of mammal that has extra large front teeth. Other types of rodents include squirrels, mice, and guinea pigs. Giddy Gordon sticks his front teeth out like a rodent. Then Giddy Gordon, Awesome Alex, and Rainbow Man carry on walking, or skipping as Giddy Gordon is doing. They pass antelopes, tamarin monkeys, and lemurs. Wait, Giddy Gordon and Rainbow Man. Awesome Alex has stopped to have a look at the lemurs. Awesome Alex spots one of the lemurs. Then he spots another one. They seem to be chasing each other. One of the lemurs jumps down from a very high wooden beam, and Awesome Alex puts his hand over his eyes as he does not like heights. Look over here, guys. I have found some giant tortoise. Do any of you know where giant tortoises come from? Rainbow Man guesses Africa, Giddy Gordon guesses Asia, and Awesome Alex guesses America. Well, this giant tortoise is an African spurred tortoise, so it comes from Africa. Well done, Rainbow Man. Rainbow Man then spots some meerkats. They must like you, Rainbow Man. They have come right up to the glass. It looks like they want to get out. The next animal that Giddy Gordon, Awesome Alex, and Rainbow Man see is squirrel monkeys. I can't see any squirrel monkeys, Rainbow Man. They must be hiding. Rainbow Man points to one, but we still can't see it. Do you have your bag with you, Awesome Alex? Awesome Alex nods his head. I don't suppose you have any binoculars in there, do you? Awesome Alex does have some binoculars in his bag, and lends them to us so we can try and spot some of the monkeys. I can see one of the squirrel monkeys now. They are hiding behind those leaves. Awesome Alex decides that he wants to go one way, and Rainbow Man decides that he wants to go another way. Why don't we split up now if we want to go and see different things? Giddy Gordon thinks that is a good idea, and Rainbow Man starts to cheer, woohoo! Well, goodbye Giddy Gordon, and goodbye Awesome Alex. Giddy Gordon and Awesome Alex wave goodbye to Rainbow Man, and then walk in the opposite direction. Which animals would you like to go and see next, Rainbow Man? Rainbow Man finds a map and has a look at it. There are still lots of animals that he would like to see, including ocelots, cranes, red pandas, and the reptiles. We are right by the reptile house, if you would like to go and have a look at them first, Rainbow Man. Rainbow Man starts to cheer, woohoo! Inside the reptile house, Rainbow Man can see all sorts of different animals. He can see snakes, lizards, and geckos. I can hear someone complaining about it being too dark in here. I bet that would be Grumpy Doug if he was here. Rainbow Man walks a bit closer to where the person is complaining. It even looks like Grumpy Doug. The person complaining turns around, and to Rainbow Man's amazement, it is in fact Grumpy Doug. Hello, Grumpy Doug. We could hear you complaining about how dark it is in here, but we did not know that it was you. Let's go and find the red pandas. They are one of the animals Rainbow Man wants to see. Rainbow Man and Grumpy Doug both walk over to take a look at the red pandas. There are the red pandas. They look very happy. Grumpy Doug thinks that it's silly that the red pandas look happy. He thinks that they look sad. So you think the red pandas look sad, Grumpy Doug? Why do you think they look sad? Grumpy Doug does not think that the pandas look sad. He just wanted to say the opposite of what we did. He does not understand how we can tell that they look happy. We think they look happy because they're running around a lot. It was just an observation. Grumpy Doug can be quite annoying sometimes, but we would not want him any other way. We like him just the way he is. Rainbow Man agrees and goes to give Grumpy Doug a hug. Grumpy Doug moves back as he does not want a hug. Come on, Grumpy Doug, let's go and see some more animals. Are there any animals that you would like to see? Grumpy Doug says that he is happy to go and see any of the animals. Okay, let's start walking back to the shop and see if we can spot any animals that we have not seen yet. As Rainbow Man and Grumpy Doug walk back to the shop, they stop and have a look at the capuchins, lynx, and rhea. I think these are the last animals that we will get to see today. Rainbow Man and Grumpy Doug spend a long time looking at the rhea. They do look like emus, but in actual fact they are called rheas. They are related to emus, and just like their relatives, they also can't fly. Rainbow Man and Giddy Gordon decide to go home. They walk through the shop and then back out to the front of the building. Goodbye, Grumpy Doug. See you again soon. Rainbow Man waves goodbye to Grumpy Doug, and Grumpy Doug waves back. Then Grumpy Doug walks back to his car to go home. Have you enjoyed yourself today, Rainbow Man? Rainbow Man starts to cheer, woohoo! I think it's time to go home now, Rainbow Man. Colourful swirls appear, and Rainbow Man starts swirling around with them. Swirling here, swirling there. Rainbow Man goes everywhere. Rainbow Man appears back at home in his rainbow chair. What an adventure! You had a great time today looking at all of the animals. Rainbow Man starts to cheer, woohoo! I thought the meerkats were really funny when they were up against the glass. Rainbow Man says that he also really enjoyed watching the lemurs chasing each other. I wonder where you will go on your adventure next time, Rainbow Man. Rainbow Man shrugs his shoulders. Well, goodbye, Rainbow Man. See you next time. You're listening to Alex Manners on the Solihull Radio Children's Show. What did the Dalmatian say after lunch? That hit the spot. The time now is 8:39, and here are 2 more Disney songs to get you moving and grooving.
Every girl can be a princess, any dream can be. Close your eyes and see a magic wand, and soon you've gone from just you to royalty. You don't need a grand old castle rising in the air. brush your hair. Your heart is pure, you're thoughtful, surely, princess, you're almost there. Why, just putting on a tiara, and you aren't the same old you. My life changed so completely by just putting on a shoe. Who knew? Every girl can be a princess. Fashion can be learned. Heads can still be turned by your sweet face, the style and grace you know you've already earned. Hold your head high and keep smiling, 'cause that's just what a princess does. You're as beloved and beguiling as ever a princess was. Every girl can be a princess. All that's left to do is find a prince for you. A prince who's bold, who'll hold you your whole life through. The most perfect princess is you.
Look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? Look at this trove, treasures untold. How many wonders can one cavern hold? Looking around here you think, sure, she's got everything. I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got who's its and what's its galore. You want thingamabobs? I got 20. But who cares? No big deal. I want more. I want to be where the people are. I want to see 'em dancing, walking around on those, what do you call 'em? Oh, feet. Flipping your fins, you don't get too far. Legs are required for jumping, dancing, strolling along down a, what's that word again? Street. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun, wandering free. Wish I could be part of that world. What would I give if I could live out of these waters? What would I pay to spend a day warm on the sand? Betcha on land they understand that they don't reprimand their daughters. Bright young women, sick of swimming, ready to stand. I'm ready to know what the people know. Ask them my questions and get some answers. What's a fire and why does it, what's the word, burn? When's it my turn? Wouldn't I love to explore that shore up above? Out of the sea. Wish I could be part of that world.
if you enjoyed the story that I read for you, all about Noddy and the Silly Hens, then you'll enjoy the next excerpt of another old children's show that I'm going to be playing for you that used to help me when I used to get stressed when I was younger. And it's been a really, really helpful show that has always made me smile. And even now, I still sometimes put this show on the television to make myself happier and to relieve all of my stresses. And the show is called Noddy's Toyland Adventure. And the excerpt I'm going to play for you is called Noddy and the Singing Bush. So here we go with Noddy's Toyland Adventure, Noddy and the Singing Bush. Here we go.
Noddy, Noddy, the little man with the red and yellow car. Noddy, Noddy, his tinkling bell means he's the happiest little fellow in all Toyland. There's Biggies and Tubby and Mr. Plod and all his special friends. It's sixpence an adventure and he'll take you home again. Noddy, 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 Noddy.
It was a cloudy afternoon in Toyland. Noddy cheered himself up by polishing his car.
You'll shine so brightly, it won't matter that the sun's behind the clouds.
Oh, dear me. Oh, what a shock.
I'm sorry, Mr. Jumbo. We didn't know you were there.
Sudden noises always make me jump.
What are you carrying?
Oh, an old gramophone I found in my attic. You like music, Noddy, so you might buy it off me. I'd only want 8 sixpences.
Today I've only got 3 sixpences, but you could take that one to Dinah Doll. She might sell it for you.
I should have thought of that in the first place.
Yes, you do look smart. Does it work, Mr. Jumbo?
Only if you wind the handle. This handle, I presume. I've got a record. I don't know what's on it.
I'd like to hear it. Oh, it's beautiful.
I've not heard that sound for many a long year. Wow!
Very strange music. What is it?
That, Sammy Sailor, is the sound of the singing bush.
The singing bush? Where is it?
In a secret spot, deep in the wood.
Oh, folk, it'd be an awful lot of sixpences to hear a singing bush.
The singing bush is a magical thing. It must remain secret. We'll see about that. We'll capture Big Ears in my fishing net and make him take us to the singing bush. Then we'll dig it up, carry it around, and charge lots of sixpences to hear it.
Brilliant.
Here he comes. Ah, the singing bush. What joy to hear its music again. Oh, what's this? Sly, Gobbo, what are you up to? You're going to take us to the singing bush. Oh, no, I'm not. Oh, yes, you are. No, get your hands up. No. Oh.
I am proud of you, little car. You're gleaming like a ray of sunshine. Big Ear's bike. Why has he left it here?
No, I won't take you there. Let me go. Oh.
Big Ear's in trouble. I must help.
Is one of these the singing bush? I shan't tell you.
Big Ears, I'm here.
Don't come any nearer, Noddy. Go for help. Fetch Mr. Plod.
Right away.
We don't want him to breathe help.
He won't. Not after I've put a runaway spell on him. No one will talk to him now.
Come on, little car. We must hurry. Oh, why Why won't you start? Oh, what are you doing? We have to fetch Mr. Plod. Come back! Where are you going? Oh, now I'll have to run all the way. How much is that, class? Dinah, doll! I have to find Mr. Plod. Go away, please, Noddy. I'm busy. Dinah?
You got what it takes.
Sally Skittle, have you... Oh, be quiet.
Kinder surprise. A treat for
Mr. Wobbly Man, will you tell me where to find Mr. Plod?
Why, certainly will not.
Clockwork Mouse, have you seen Mr. Plod? Mind your own business. Oh, Mr. Plod, there you are.
No, I'm not. I'm over here.
I need help.
Well, you should have thought of that before you got up this morning.
Why are they all so horrid? But Tessie Bear's coming to tea. She'll help. Oh, Tessie, I'm so glad you've come to see me. I haven't. But you've come for tea. Why should I have tea with a silly wooden doll like you? Come along, Bumpy Dog. Why are my friends running away from me? Running away! That's what Gobbo's runaway spell has done. It's made everyone run away from me. I'll help Big Ears on my own. It's getting darker already. Oh, even the ladybirds run away. My car! Perhaps it's going to help me. I'm so pleased to see you. Wait! Don't go! Are you leading me to Big Ears? It was a trick. I've never been to this part of the wood before. I'll hide under a bush till morning. Oh, but I can't. If I hide, I'll never find Big Ears.
Hello, young Tessie. I thought you'd be having tea with Noddy.
I didn't want to.
Why not?
I really don't know. I like him very much. I've never seen any of these trees before.
Come on, Big Ears, you've messed us around long enough now. Where is this bush?
What's that? Big Ears? The goblins? It must be them.
He's led us all round the wood, but still no singing bush.
What's that? I'm sorry, Big Ears. I tried to hide.
Noddy, I'm delighted to see you. What? He shouldn't be pleased to see Noddy.
Maybe the runaway spell is wearing off.
Cast another one, Sly.
Right. Noddy, how kind of you to come all this way on such a dark night.
Come on, Big Ears. Out of that net. No, stop. What are we doing?
Noddy.
Are you there, young Noddy?
Tessie? Mr. Plod? My car? Oh!
This is your fault. You cast that runaway spell with your left hand instead of your right hand. It's working backwards. Now everyone wants to be with Noddy.
So do I. He's really nice.
Oh, shut up. Let's get out of here. You goblins, come back. I want to give you a good telling off. Let them go this once, Mr. Plod. They've done no real harm. After all, they'll miss what they really wanted.
Oh, a singing bush.
We must let it be. Come to my toadstool house for cocoa. The strangest thing is this. After tonight, none of you will ever again be able to find the singing bush.
I'm glad. It's magical. No one should try and make sixpences out of the singing bush.
Noddy, Noddy, the little man with the red and yellow car. Noddy, Noddy, his tinkling bell means he's the happiest little fellow in all Toyland. There's Biggies and Tubby and Mr. Plod and all his special friends. It's sixpence an adventure and he'll take you home again. And now it's time for Noddy to wave and say goodbye. He's tired and sleepy and nodding his head. He's ready to curl himself up in bed and see what tomorrow brings. For Noddy, Noddy, Noddy.
You're listening to Alex Manners on the Solihull Radio Children's Show. The time now is 8:56, and don't forget, if you have any birthday messages, then you can text those in to the studio by texting in studio to 82228. That's texting in your birthday messages to studio at 82228. Or alternatively, you could email them in to studio@solihullradio.com. That's studio@solihullradio.com. And here is a tweenie song, one of my favourite children's shows, and it's called Do the Lollipop. Here we go. So, what's going on in our local area over the next few days and over Easter that we can join in with and go and have a wonderful, wonderful time joining in with lots of wonderful, wonderful events? Well, one of the things that's going on is happening at the NEC, and it's called Kids Tropolis. It's happening from the 13th until the 15th of April. Kidtropolis, the UK's best kids event, is packed full of live entertainment, toys, games, characters and family brands. You will be able to see the Baby Shark mini live show on Saturday the 13th of April and see CBeebies, Sam and Mark's live show packed with fun, jokes, laughs and games on Saturday the 13th and Sunday the 14th of April. And you'll also be able to go in a mega inflatable labyrinth assault course, the carousel, roller rink and much, much more. So that's Kidstropolis at the NEC from the 13th until the 15th of April. And down at Hatton Adventure World, They have their Spring Spectacular from the 13th until the 28th of April. That's their Spring Spectacular from the 13th until the 28th of April. There will be Easter egg hunts. You'll be able to join in with lots of baby animals, magic shows, Hatton's very own Grand National, go on tractor safaris, watch falconry displays, plus lots more at Hatton Adventure World from the 13th until the 28th of April. And down here in Touchwood, there is a whole host of free code-cracking activities to keep chocolate fans of all ages entertained this Easter. With a code-cracking challenge trail for the youngsters and a chocolate-themed escape room for older guests, you can count on Touchwood to put a spring in your step. From Saturday the 13th until Sunday the 28th of April, a mysterious locked safe will sit on the information desk filled with surprise treats. Those that crack the code can help themselves to a tasty reward. Sounds easy enough? Well, to get the all-important sequence of numbers, youngsters will first need to take part in a scavenger hunt around the centre. Children will be given a code-cracking sheet with hints and tips on the location of Touchwood's special Easter eggs, followed by instructions on how to crack the code. Uncover the correct numerical sequence and enjoy the sweet taste of victory. The code-cracking pack with instructions can be picked up from the information desk. So that is what's going on down here at Touchwood. So if all those events sound really exciting, then you can head down to the NEC for Kidstropolis, Hatton Adventure World for their Spring Spectacular, or Touchwood to join in with a whole host of code-cracking activities. And as it's the last day of World Autism Awareness Week, I've got another autism song to play for you. And this one is called I Have Autism. So here we go with the song I Have Autism. I hope you enjoy it.
Ready, set, go!
Hey kids, it's time to have fun with Ready, Set, Go!
I have AUT, ISM. I have AUT, ISM, autism. Don't be scared of me. Don't be scared of me, 'cause we're the same, you and me. I have AUT, ISM. I have AUT, ISM, autism. Let's be friends and play a game. I might seem different, but we're the same. We both have eyes and a nose. We have hands we can wave to our friends. We both have ears and feet. We can stomp, stomp, stomp to the beat. We can play happily. Take my hand and best friends we'll be. I have AUT, ISM. I have AUT, ISM, autism. Don't be scared of me. Don't be scared of me, 'cause we're the same, you and me. I have AUT, ISM. I have AUT, ISM, autism. Let's be friends and play a game. I might seem different, but we're the same. We both have eyes and a nose. We have hands we can wave to our friends. We both have ears and feet. We can stomp, stomp, stomp to the beat. We can play happily. Take my hand and best friends we'll be. I have AUT, ISM.
of Wimbledon, common are we. People don't notice us, they never see. Under their noses a womble may be. Womble by night and we womble by day, looking for litter to trundle away. We're so incredibly, utterly devious, making the most of everything. Even bottles and tins, pick up the pieces and make them into something new. It's what we do. Underground, overground, wumbling free. The wombles of Wimbledon, common are we. Making good use of the things that we find, things that the everyday folks leave behind.
In 2017, Sesame Street, the popular children's show, launched a brand new character called Julia, who is a 4-year-old girl with autism. And if you would like to know more and meet Julia, then you can meet Julia right here on Solihull Radio, and you can learn more about her autism. So here we go with an excerpt from Sesame Street, all about Julia and her autism. And hopefully you'll enjoy listening to Sesame Street and meeting Julia and learning more about her autism. So here we are with meeting Julia.
Here's some more paper, guys.
Oh, thanks, Alex.
You're welcome.
Okay, just a little more paint.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank you.
Oh, hey, welcome to Sesame Street.
Oh, hi.
We are having some fun with finger paints.
Oh, hi, guys. Hi, Elmo. Hi, Abby. Hi, Alan.
Hi.
Oh, who's this?
Oh, this is our friend Julia.
Oh, hi, Julia. I'm Big Bird. Nice to meet you. Oh, Julia?
Julia's just concentrating on her painting right now. You guys,
Oh.
you're all doing a great job.
Thank you. Thank you, Alex.
You're welcome.
Wait, Elmo loves finger painting.
Yeah, me too. I love the way the paint squishes in my fingers.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry, Julia. I know you don't like the way it feels.
And that's why a paintbrush works for you. There's lots of ways to paint.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and there. Elmo's all done.
Yep, so am I.
Oh, can I see what you all painted?
Oh, sure, Big
Oh,
Bird.
wait, you guys here. Wipe your hands off first.
Right.
And I will show him. Take a look.
Whoa, those are both really great.
Thank you.
May I see your painting, Julia? Julia?
Sometimes it takes Julia a while to answer. It helps to ask again. Julia, can Big Bird see your painting?
See your painting? Yes.
Okay. Oh, all right. Take a look at this, everybody.
Oh, wow. A flying bunny car.
Fluffster.
Oh, yeah. That looks just like your bunny, Fluffster.
I love it. Oh, it's so fun and silly. Julia, you're so creative.
Yeah. You're really good at painting. High five, Julia. Huh? Huh? High five? Huh? Huh? Oh, Ellen. I don't think Julia likes me very much.
Oh, no, you two are just meeting for the first time.
Oh, so she's shy. Oh, I get that. I can feel shy sometimes, too.
Well, with Julia, it's not just that. You see, she has autism. She likes it when people know that.
Autism? Well, what's autism?
Well, for Julia, it means that she might not answer you right away.
Yeah, Julia doesn't say a lot. Mm-hmm.
That's right. And she may not do what you expect, like give you a high five.
Yeah, she does things just a little differently, in a Julia sort of way.
Oh, okay.
And she's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, Julia likes being with her friends. Oh, and she loves to play, too.
Play. You want to play now, Julia? Play.
Oh, okay. We can all play together.
Hey, that's a great idea.
Oh, me too. Can I play?
Sure thing. Okay, so what should we play?
How about tag?
I think that's a yes.
Yeah. Oh, Julia, you're bouncing like a rubber ball. Boing, 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 boing.
Okay, Julia, one more thing. Tag, you're up.
Wait. What's Julia doing?
Well, it looks like she's playing tag while jumping.
I've never seen tag played like that.
Well, Julia does do some things a little differently.
Oh, because of her autism?
Yeah, sometimes people with autism may do things that might seem confusing to you.
Oh, like when she flaps her hands?
Yep, that's just something she does when she's excited. But you know what? Julia also does some things that you might want to try.
Boing. This is fun, Julia. Hey, it's a whole new game. It's boing tag. Boing. Now I'm it. I'm gonna get you.
Oh, it does look like a fun way to play.
That's right. It doesn't matter how they play, they're just a bunch of friends having fun.
Huh. You know, I think I'd like to be a friend of Julia, too.
All right, well, then go on. Join in.
Boing. Tag. You're it, Big Bird.
Okay. Boing. Boing. This is a new way of playing, Alan, but I like it.
It's good.
Boing.
What's the matter, Julia?
Noise.
The sirens are bothering you?
Boing. Tag, you're it, Julia.
All right. Hey, Julia, let's take a break, okay? Here's, I got Fluffster. All right, come on. Come on.
Oh, come on, Abby. Big Bird.
I didn't mean to upset Julia.
Oh, it's not your fault, Big Bird. Julia didn't like the siren.
The siren? It wasn't that loud.
Oh, well, it was to Julia.
Yeah. Her ears are really sensitive, so some sounds are just too much for her.
Huh. Gee, I hope she's going to be okay.
Oh, she will.
Oh, yeah, Julia just needs a break sometimes. Oh, she'll come back to play soon.
I sure hope so.
I can see why this is your favorite spot, Julia. It's so quiet up here. Lots of pretty flowers. It's very calming.
Fluffster.
Yeah. I know that Fluffster helps you feel calm, too. Hey, why don't we do some of your deep breathing, okay? Let's try it. All right, remember? Take a big belly breath in. Slowly out. And slowly in. Slowly out. Feeling a little better?
Better.
Good. I love this view. Look at Sesame Street. Everything seems different from up here, doesn't it? Wait, what's so funny? What do you see?
Big Bird.
Yeah, that's your new friend, Big Bird.
Big Bird.
Oh, but he looks like a small bird from up here, right?
You okay, Big Bird?
Yeah, what you doing?
Oh, I'm just thinking about Julia.
Oh.
You know, she's not like any friend I've ever had before.
Yeah, but, well, none of us are exactly the same.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you're a bird, Elmo's monster, and I'm a fairy. We're all different.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. All my friends are different.
Yep.
Each one is unique.
Hey, look who's feeling better.
Julia! Big Bird.
For me? Oh, gee, thanks, Julia. Oh, that's really kind of you. You know, we have something we both like to do. I like to flap, too. It's a bird thing, I guess. Watch. Flap, flap, flap. Yeah, and I know that we both like to play.
Play, play, play.
Oh, sure. We can play some more.
Oh, can I play with you guys? Oh, Elmo too?
Well, of course. We can all be friends.
Yeah!
We all have our own special things that make us who we are.
And everyone's important. We can all shine like a star.
Yeah, we may all be different, but that's something that's worth praising.
It's who we are and what we do that makes us each amazing.
We can all be friends. We can all be friends. It feels a little better when we all play together.
We can all be friends. Oh, there's another thing you have in common, Big Bird. Julia loves to sing.
Oh, yeah. We can all be friends. We can all be friends. It feels a little better when we all play together. We can all be friends. Let's play tag.
Boing, 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 boing tag.
Boing tag. Boing, 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 boing.
You're listening to Alex Manners on the Solihull Radio Children's Show. And here is the Sesame Street's amazing song, just like I played at the start of my show today.
Sesame Street and Autism, the amazing song.
Every kid is an original. We're all one of a kind. There's no one else quite like us that you're ever gonna find.
And that's what makes us wonderful. We're different as can be.
But in some real important ways, we're still the same, you see.
We all can feel happy.
We all can feel mad.
We all can feel good.
We all can feel bad. We all want to laugh and we all want to play.
We all are amazing, each in our own way.
We all are
Amazing.
Every kid is amazing.
We all are amazing, each in our own way.
For some of us, it's harder to reach out as others do.
But when you just look closer, you'll see amazingness show through.
We each have our own ways to see the world and show we care. But we know we can be friends,
Cause there's so much that we share.
we all are still growing.
We all need a hand.
We all need a friend who can understand.
We
all are important and we all are okay. We all are amazing, each in our own way. At times we may have our own ways to play. And that's okay, 'cause in the end we're all so much the same. In some big ways, we all can be silly, we all can be sad, we all can feel lonely, we all can feel glad. We all are just kids and we all want to play. We all are amazing, each in our own way. We all are amazing, each in our own way.
Every kid is amazing, each in their own way.
And before I read you out some fun, fascinating and fantastic facts all about autism today, here is another excerpt of Thomas the Tank Engine. And this excerpt of Thomas the Tank Engine is called Diesel Does It Again. So here we go with Thomas the Tank Engine and Diesel Does It Again.
Duck and Percy enjoy their work at the harbour, pulling and pushing trucks full of cargo to and from the quay. But one morning, the engines were exhausted. The harbour was busier than ever. The Fat Controller promised that another engine would be found to help them. "Huh, it's about time," said Percy. "I ache so much I can hardly get my wheels to move," agreed Duck. They waited for the engine to arrive. It came as a shock when he did. "Good morning," squirmed Diesel in his oily voice. The two engines had not worked with Diesel for a long time. "What are you doing here?" gasped Duck. "Your worthy fat, Sir Topham Hatt sent me. I hope you are pleased to see me. I am to shunt some dreadfully tiresome trucks." "Shunt where?" said Percy suspiciously. "Where? Why, from here to there," purred Diesel, "and again from there to here. Easy, isn't it?" With that, Diesel, as if to make himself quite clear, bumped some trucks hard. "Woo!" screamed the trucks. "Grrr," growled Diesel. Percy and Duck were horrified. They did not trust Diesel at all. They refused to work and would not leave their shed. The Fat Controller was enjoying his tea and ice bun when the telephone rang. "So there's trouble in the harbour yard? I'll be there right away." Diesel was working loudly and alone. Cargo lay on the quay. Ships and passengers were delayed. Everyone was complaining about the Fat Controller's railway. Percy and Duck were sulking in their shed. "What's all this?" demanded the Fat Controller. We're on strike, sir," said Percy. "Yes," added Duck. "Beg pardon, sir, but we won't work with Diesel, sir." Then, in a quiet, hurt voice, he added, "You said you'd sent him packing, sir." "I have to give Diesel a second chance. I am trying to help you by bringing Diesel here. Now you must help me. He was the only engine available." Percy and Duck went sadly back to work. Next morning, things were no better. Diesel's driver had not put his brakes on properly, and Diesel started to move. He went bump straight into Percy. Percy had an awful fright. "Wake up there, Percy," scowled Diesel. "You have work to do." He didn't even say he was sorry to Percy. Later, Diesel bumped the truck so hard that the loads went everywhere. "What will the Fat Controller say?" gasped Percy. "He won't like it," said Duck. "So who's going to tell him, I wonder?" said Diesel. "Two little goody-goody telltales like you, I suppose." Percy and Duck did not want to be telltales, so they said nothing. Diesel, thinking he could get away with his bad behaviour, was ruder than ever. Next day, he was shunting trucks full of china clay. He banged the trucks hard into the buffers, but the buffers weren't secure. The silly trucks were sunk. Soon, the Fat Controller heard the news. The trucks were hoisted safely from the sea, but the clay was lost. The Fat Controller spoke severely to Diesel. "Things worked much better here before you arrived. I shall not be inviting you back. Now, Duck and Percy, I hope you won't mind having to handle the work by yourselves again." "Oh, no, sir. Yes, please, sir," replied the engines. Whistling cheerfully, they puffed back to work, while Diesel sulked slowly away.
You're listening to Alex Manners on the Solihull Radio Children's Show. How do you stop an astronaut's baby from crying? You rock it. And here is a Disney song, I'll Try, from The Return to Neverland.
I am not a child now. I can take care of myself. I mustn't let them down now. Mustn't let them see me cry. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm too tired to listen. I'm too old to believe all these childish stories. There is no such thing as faith and trust and pixie dust. I try, but it's so hard to believe. I try, but I can't see what you see. I try, I try, I try. My whole world is changing. I don't know where to turn. I can't leave you waiting, but I can't stay and watch the city burn. Watch it burn. 'Cause I try, but it's so hard to believe. I try, but I can't see what you see. I try, I try, I try and try to understand the distance in between the love I feel and the things I fear, and every single dream. I can finally see it. Now I have to believe all those precious stories. All the world is made of faith and trust and pixie dust. So I'll try, 'cause I finally believe. I'll try, 'cause I can see what you see. I'll try, I'll try, I will try, I'll try to fly.
At the moment, my family are moving house, so it will be a big change for me. And change is one thing that people with autism and what I've got, Asperger's, can sometimes struggle with. But I've managed to find ways to overcome those stresses and struggles by reading one of my football programs, which is football has been something that's really helped me over the years, or by putting on something on CBeebies, something like Noddy or Thomas the Tank Engine. And here are some fun, fascinating and fantastic facts all about autism. And fun, fascinating fact number 1 is autism is a lifelong developmental disability that affects how a person communicates with and relates to other people, and how they experience the world around them. And fun, fascinating and fantastic fact number 2. Autism is much more common than many people think. There are around 700,000 people on the autism spectrum in the UK. That's more than 1 in 100. If you include their families, autism is a part of daily life for around 2.8 million people. And fun, fascinating and fantastic fact number 3. Autism doesn't just affect children. Autistic children grow up to become autistic adults, just like me. Fun, fascinating fact number 4. Autism is a hidden disability, so you can't always tell if someone is autistic. And, just on that one, autism also affects people in different ways. So, once you've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism, because everyone with autism is so different. And fun, fascinating and fantastic fact number 5. Asperger's syndrome, which is a form of autism, was named after Hans Asperger, an Austrian psychiatrist who described the condition in 1944. So, I was diagnosed with Asperger's in 2010, but the condition was first described in 1944. Fun, fascinating fact number 6. People with Asperger's syndrome see, hear, and feel the world differently to other people. If you have Asperger's syndrome, you have it for life. It is not an illness or disease, and cannot be cured. Often, people feel that Asperger's syndrome is a fundamental aspect of their identity. And I certainly feel it's a fundamental aspect of my identity, and makes me the person that you all see and hear on the radio today. And for the last fact, fun, fascinating and fantastic fact number 7. Many famous people have autism, including the singer Susan Boyle, TV presenter Chris Packham, scientist Albert Einstein, and Charles Darwin. So those were the 7 fun, fascinating and fantastic facts all about autism. And now I'm going to play you our favourite song on the Solihull Radio Children's Show. And can any of you guess which is our favourite song from the Children's Show? That's right, it's Bob the Builder with Mambo number 5.
Are you ready, Bob?
Yes.
What about you, Lovely?
I'm a bit scared. Okay, team, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody's outside, so come on, let's ride to the builder's yard around the corner. The gang's all here, and it's time for us to do what we wanna. There's a house with a roof that leaks. It's an urgent job, and it could take us weeks. There's Dizzy, Lofty, and Rolly too. Wendy always knows just what to do. And there's no job too big or small. With scoop and mug, we can do it all. Metal, brick, or wood, it's all good, and we can always send in the tractor. A little bit of timber and a saw. A little bit of fixing, that's for sure. A little bit of digging up the road. A little bit of moving heavy loads. A little bit of tiling on the roof. A little bit of making waterproof. A little bit of concrete mixed with sand. A little bit of Bob, the builder man. Careful, Dizzy. Jump up and down and move it all around. Mix it up to the sound. Dig a hole in the ground. Take one step left and one step right. And one to the front and one to the side. Clap your hands once and clap your hands twice. And if it looks like this, then you're doing it right. A bit of timber and a saw. A little bit of fixing, that's for sure. A little bit of digging up the road. A little bit of moving heavy loads. A little bit of tiling on the roof. A little bit of making waterproof. A little bit of concrete mixed with sand. A little bit of Bob, the builder man. Mambo number 6 and 7, 8. that's for sure. A little bit of digging up the roads, a little bit of moving heavy loads, a little bit of tiling on the roof, a little bit of making waterproof, a little bit of concrete mixed with sand, a little bit of Bob the Builder Man. There's Rolly, Lofty, Scoop, Mop, Dizzy, so much work to keep us all busy. Can we fix it? Yes, we can, with the team and Bob the Builder Man.
Bob the Builder there with Mambo number 5, our favourite song on the Solihull Radio Children's Show. And now it's time for me to read another story. So if you're all sitting comfortably, I've got a story here called Mr. Good from the Mr. Men collection, written by Roger Hargreaves. So here we go with Mr. Good, written by Roger Hargreaves. Mr. Good is very good. He always makes his bed, he always cleans his teeth, and he always wipes his feet. He never slams doors, he never forgets birthdays, and he never ever tells lies. Mr. Good is very, very good. However, Mr. Good lives in a place called Badland, a place where nobody is like Mr. Good, a place where people do slam doors, and they slam them in your face. In Badland, the puddles are much deeper than they look. In Badland, a dog's bite is worse than its bark. In Badland, even the trees are bad. One day, it was wet and windy. Well, of course it was. The weather is always bad in Badland. Mr. Good was walking along, minding his own business, when the hat of the man in front blew off. Mr. Good leapt in the air and caught it for him. The man turned round and glared at Mr. Good. "What do you think you're doing?" he thundered. "Give my hat back." Poor Mr. Good. This sort of thing was always happening to him. You see, the very idea of doing a good deed in Badland was preposterous, unthinkable, mad. If Mr. Good offered to help carry shopping, he was accused of stealing. If he kindly held a door open for someone, then he would be kicked in the shin. Not surprisingly, Mr. Good was not very happy. In fact, he was miserable. So, he decided to go for a long walk, to think about things. He walked for a very long time. He was so deep in thought that he did not notice how far he had gone. And he was so deep in thought that he accidentally walked slap bang into somebody. I'm so sorry," stammered Mr. Good nervously. "That's quite all right," said the man, and carried on his way. "Quite all right," repeated Mr. Good to himself. "That's quite all right." In the whole of his life, no one had ever said "that's quite all right" to Mr. Good. Then Mr. Good noticed that the sun was shining, which was strange, because the sun never shone in Badland. Further on, Mr. Good found a dustbin on its side. Without thinking, he tidied up all the rubbish. "Thank you," said a woman. Mr. Good stared at her. In the whole of his life, no one had ever said thank you to him. "Could you tell me where I am?" he asked. "You're in Goodland," replied the woman. "Thank you," said Mr. Good. "My pleasure," said the woman. Mr. Good beamed. And I'm sure you have guessed that Mr. Good now lives in Goodland. And Mr. Good is happy. Very, very happy, doing good deeds all day long. The only thing Mr. Good does not trust are puddles. Once you have stepped in a Badland puddle, you never forget. And that story was Mr. Good, written by Roger Hargreaves from the Mr. Men collection of stories. You're listening to Alex Manners on the Solihull Radio Children's Show. The time now is 9:41, and I've got a host of tumble tots and nursery rhyme songs to play for you. So here we go with those tumble tots and nursery rhyme songs, and hopefully these will get you all raring to go for the rest of your Sunday and the rest of your weekend.
We tap sticks high, we tap and shake our sticks to music, music, music. We tap sticks high, we tap sticks low. We tap again and around we go. We wiggle our hips and shake our sticks to music, music, music. Tap sticks high, down, hit the floor. Tap sticks high, down, hit the floor. Up, up and down, hit the floor. Up, up, now front and back. Tap in front, tap at the back. Tap in front, tap at the back. Front, front, back, back. Front, front, back. Now side, right, right, right. Change, left, left, left. Change, right, right, right. Change, left, left, left. Let's sing. We tap sticks high, we tap sticks low. We tap again and around we go. We wiggle our hips and shake our sticks to music, music, music. Kick, tap, kick, tap, kick, tap, kick, tap, kick and tap, kick and tap, kick and tap. Now let's all sing. We tap sticks high, we tap sticks low. We tap again and around we go. We wiggle our hips and shake our sticks to music, music, music. We wiggle our hips and shake our sticks to music, music, music.
Come on everyone, it's time to buckle up and get ready to ride on the bus. Here we go.
The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round all day long.
Now, it started to rain. Oh no, we need to make the wipers go swish, swish, swish. Are you ready? Here we go.
The wipers on the bus go swish, 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 swish. The wipers on the bus go swish, swish, swish all day long.
Wow, it suddenly got very noisy on the bus. Lots of people have got on and started to chat. Are you ready?
The people on the bus go chat, 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 chat. The people on the bus go chat, chat, chat all day long.
Right, everyone, it's time to beat the horn on the bus. Get ready with your Here we go.
The horn on the bus goes beep, 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 beep. The horn on the bus goes beep, beep, beep all day long.
Yeah, well done, everyone. Great singing. Come on, let's ride the bus one more time. Ready to sing? Here we go.
The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round all day long.
Well done. Oh, hang on a minute. Whoa, this is my stop. Can I get off, please?
Oh, the grand old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill and he marched them down again. And when they were up, they were up. And when they were down, they were down. And when they were only halfway up, they were neither up nor down. Oh, the grand old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill and he marched them down again. And when they were up, they were up. And when they were down, they were down. And when they were only halfway up, they were neither up nor down. Oh, the grand old Duke
of York. He had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill, and he marched them down again. And when they were up, they were up. And when they were down, they were down. And when they were only halfway up, they were neither up nor down. Oh, the grand old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill, and he marched them down again. And when they were up, they were up. And when they were down, they were down. And when they were only halfway up, they were neither up nor down. And when they were only halfway up, they were neither up nor down.
Shake, shake, shake your beanbag. Shake, shake, shake your beanbag. Everybody come on, shake your beanbag. Shake your beanbag, don't let it drop. Let's all do the beanbag rock. Hold the beanbag on your head. Hold the beanbag on your knees. Hold the beanbag on your tummy and wiggle around if you please. If you please. Hold the beanbag way down low. Hold it high in the air and don't you let it go. Now shake and wriggle 'cause you're doing the beanbag rock. Shake, shake, shake your beanbag. Shake, shake, shake your beanbag. Everybody come on, shake your beanbag. Shake your beanbag, don't let it drop. Let's all do the beanbag rock. Hold the beanbag on your elbow. Hold the beanbag on your toes. Hold the beanbag on your ear. And let me see you wiggle your nose. Wiggle your nose. Hold the beanbag way down low. Hold it high in the air, don't you let it go. Now shake and wiggle 'cause you're doing the beanbag rock. Shake, shake, shake your beanbag. Come on, come on, come on, shake your beanbag. Shake, shake, shake your beanbag. Stop! It's called the beanbag rock.
Oh, the grand old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill, and he marched them down again. And when they were up, they were up. And when they were down, they were down. And when they were only halfway up, they were neither up nor down. Oh, the grand old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill, and he marched them down again. And when they were up, they were up. And when they were down, they were down. And when they were only halfway up, they were neither up nor down. Oh, the grand old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill, and he marched them down again. And when they were up, they were up. And when they were down, they were down. And when they were only halfway up, they were neither up nor down. Oh, the grand old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill, and he marched them down again. And when they were up, they were up. And when they were down, they were down. And when they were only halfway up, they were neither up nor down. And when they were only halfway up, they were neither up nor down.
I hope you all enjoyed those wonderful, wonderful songs, and they got you moving and grooving and jumping and jiving and bopping and sliding for the rest of your Sunday and the rest of your weekend. Well, the time now is 9:51, but don't worry, because next week I've got another fantastic, fantastic Solihull Radio Children's Show, where I'll be playing lots and lots of wonderful, wonderful songs, playing you some excerpts from some old children's shows, reading you some more stories, and some fun fascinating and fantastic facts. And Rainbow Man will be going on another wonderful, wonderful adventure with his friends Giddy Gordon, Grumpy Doug, and Awesome Alex. And if you would like to go on the adventure with Rainbow Man again from today, where he visited the Birmingham Wildlife Conservation Park, then you can head down to YouTube and go to the Rainbow Man Children's Channel. That's YouTube, and head to the Rainbow Man Children's Channel, where you'll be able to join in with Rainbow Man and his friends on their adventures all over again. And if you would like to send in any birthday messages, then you can text them in to studio to 82228. That's studio to 82228. Or alternatively, you could email those birthday messages in to us on studio@solihullradio.com. That's studio@solihullradio.com. And don't forget, just like I read you out some stories today, I read you out a story all about Noddy and the Silly Hens, and a Mr. Men story all about Mr. Good. Then, if you would like to record yourselves reading some of your favourite children's stories, then you can record those stories and email them in to studio@solihullradio.com. That's emailing in your recordings to studio@solihullradio.com. And this show has been a special autism awareness show for Autism Awareness Week, because today it is the last day of Autism Awareness Week, and April is Autism Awareness Month. And if you would like to find out more about autism and Asperger's and how it affects people, and also the positive elements of having Asperger's and autism, then you can head down to my Facebook page, my YouTube channel, or my Twitter. That's The Alex Manners on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, The Alex Manners, or on Facebook it's Alex Manners. Or you could go to my website, www.thealexmanners.com, where you can listen to lots of interviews, read lots of articles, and watch lots of videos all about autism and Asperger's. So that's www.thealexmanners.com. But before we go, I wanted to play you the I Have Autism song again. So here we go with the song I Have Autism.
Hey kids, it's time to have fun with Ready, Set, Go! I have AUT, ISM. I have AUT, ISM, autism. Don't be scared of me, don't be scared of me, 'cause we're the same, you and me. I have AUT, ISM. I have AUT, ISM, autism. Let's be friends and play a game. I might seem different, but we're the same. We both have eyes and a nose. We have hands, we can wave to our friends. We both have ears and feet. We can stomp, stomp, stomp to the beat. We can play happily. Take my hand and best friends we'll be. I have AUT, ISM. I have AUT, ISM, autism. Don't be scared of me, don't be scared of me, 'cause we're the same, you and me. I have AUT, ISM. I have AUT, ISM, autism. Let's be friends and play a game. I might seem different, but we're the same. We both have eyes and a nose. We have hands, we can wave to our friends. We both have ears and feet. We can stomp, stomp, stomp to the beat. We can play happily. Take my hand and best friends we'll be. I have AUT, ISM. I have AUT,
That was the I Have Autism song, and as April is Autism Awareness Month, why not book me to come in and do a talk all about my life living with Asperger's, which I've done for many schools, universities, businesses and councils. So if you would like to hear me speaking about my life living with Asperger's and presenting one of my talks, then you can go to my website, www.thealexmanners.com. That's www.thealexmanners.com, and you can find all my contact details and all the information about my talks on there. And I've also just released a book called That's Not Right, My Life Living with Asperger's, and there is a link on my website, on the front page of my website, for that book, and at the moment it's available to pre-order via paperback or Kindle on Amazon, and the book is called That's Not Right, My Life Living with Asperger's. And one other thing I wanted to tell you about is a show that you might be interested in on CBeebies, and it's called Pablo, and it's an animated TV series promoting autism acceptance and understanding. The preschool series is about an autistic boy and his imaginary animal friends, and airs on CBeebies. So if you want to know more about Asperger's, then you can book me for a talk, or maybe buy my book called That's Not Right, My Life Living with Asperger's. And all you boys and girls, why not go and watch some episodes of Pablo on CBeebies? Well, if you've enjoyed my show today, and you've enjoyed going on an adventure with Rainbow Man and his friends Giddy Gordon, Awesome Alex and Grumpy Doug, you've enjoyed taking a famous visitor around Sodor Island with Thomas the Tank Engine, and going on adventures with Noddy in Toyland, then you can join me again right here for my live Solihull Radio Children's Show next Sunday from 8 till 10 a.m. Well, it's goodbye from me, Alex Manners, and it's goodbye from Rainbow Man. So, until next week, have a great weekend, and au revoir. You're listening to Alex Manners on the Solihull Radio Children's Show.